Well, you can't predict everything. Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 fan theories from Game of Thrones that turned out to be wrong. For this list, we're looking at various fan theories, particularly the more popular ones, that didn't come true by the end of the series. As is to be expected, a spoiler alert is now in effect. Number 10. Cersei will go full Mad Queen. When Cersei blew up the Sept of Baelor back in Season 6, it was one of the most destructive events in the series up until that point. What summer children we were. Many theorized that Cersei's frequent threats to burn cities to the ground were hinting that she would unleash the remainder of the wildfire caches on the city at some point.
I would burn cities to the ground.
While this didn't ultimately come to fruition, it was referenced when the green flames of wildfire could be seen when Dany burned the city to the ground, even though it was mostly dragonfire. Number 9. Tyrion is a Targaryen. Both House Targaryen and House Lannister are instantly recognizable for their blonde hair. Several fans guessed that Tyrion could be revealed as a Targaryen at some point, pointing to the fact that Tywin declares,
"You're no son of mine."
Additionally, it's hinted that the Mad King was attracted to Tyrion's mother, and it's not a stretch to think he could have performed some unsavory deeds. There's also the fact that Tyrion was able to touch Rhaegal and Viserion. And touching dragons isn't something we often see from people outside the Targaryen lineage. While there were a few hints that the Night King also could have been a Targaryen, this one seemed just crazy enough to work, even if it would have made a weak 11th hour twist.
Next time I have an idea like that, punch me in the face.
Number 8. Green Eyes.
Brown eyes, blue eyes, green eyes. Eyes you'll shut forever.
Back in Season 3, Melisandre predicted that Arya would kill people with brown eyes, blue eyes, and green eyes. At the time, it seemed she was just indicating that she would kill many people. However, when this was repeated just before Arya kills the Night King, it seemed to take on new meaning.
You said I'd shut many eyes forever. You were right about that too.
Brown eyes, green eyes, and blue eyes.
While plenty of Arya's victims had brown eyes, green eyes aren't as common in Westeros, leaving many to theorize that Arya would kill Cersei in King's Landing, or even that she could put an end to Daenerys after she burned down the city. As it turned out, Jon would become the Queenslayer, while Cersei's life was taken by a crumbling ceiling. Number 7. Tyrion made a deal with Cersei.
You may not have killed Joffrey, but you killed Myrcella, you killed Tommen. No one would have touched them if Father was here. No one would have dared.
I've never been more sorry about anything.
I will not hear it, not from you. I will not hear it!
It didn't go unnoticed in the Season 7 finale that Cersei and Tyrion's confrontation wasn't entirely shown, and we didn't see what Tyrion may have promised her in exchange for her help against the White Walkers.
Maybe Euron Greyjoy had the right idea. Get on a boat. Take those who matter.
You're pregnant.
Some wondered if he made a deal with Cersei, or that he promised that her child could take the Iron Throne after Daenerys since she can't have children. This was somewhat supported by the final shot of Tyrion in the episode, where he appears to show concern for the conflicts to come. It turned out to be kind of unimportant since Cersei betrayed them anyway, but it looks like we'll never know exactly what Tyrion said to get her to fake her support.
I beg you. If not for yourself, then for your child.
Number 6. Daenerys is pregnant.
I can't have children.
Who told you that?
The witch who murdered my husband.
Has it occurred to you she might not have been a reliable source of information?
Although Mirri Maz Duur suggested that Daenerys could never have children, fans were really never sure if she was to be trusted. With Jon and Dany's coupling at the end of Season 7, many wondered if this would bring about a child who could continue the Targaryen line, or even establish a new dynasty. Should this theory have turned out to be true, it would have had massive implications for the series ending. But since we didn't really get enough time to sort out the plot lines already in motion, maybe it's better the show didn't try to resolve another game-changing twist. Number 5. Bran is the Night King.
He saw me! The Night King! He saw me!
The reveal that Bran had the power to influence the events of the past led many fans to wonder which other ways he might have impacted history. A handful of fans suspected that Bran may be at fault for the Mad King's madness, but the more popular theory was that Bran was the Night King himself.
When the long night comes again, I need to be ready.
This theory posited that Bran would somehow travel back in time and become the very first White Walker after failing to stop the conflict from ever happening. A kinghood would end up part of Bran's endgame, but we'll get to that later. Number 4. The White Walkers will win. After subverting expectations time and time again, audiences expected at least a couple more twists and turns before the series bowed out. One of the more wild fan theories supposed that the White Walkers would actually succeed in their attempt to wipe out the people of Westeros. These theorists pointed to a more literal interpretation of the Stark words "winter is coming" and suggested that the creatures themselves were too overpowered to be defeated. Season 8's marketing certainly toyed with this theory, with several promotional images of the Night King atop the Iron Throne. Number 3. Jaime will kill Cersei.
You don't know what I am.
I know you're a witch, and you can see the future. Tell me mine.
Everyone wants to know their future, until they know their future.
One of the most popular theories among book readers and show watchers was that Jaime would kill his lover/twin sister Cersei, echoing his assassination of King Aerys. Although Maggie the Frog's prophecy was shown in the 5th season, it omitted one of her predictions from the books that hinted that one of Cersei's younger brothers would choke the life out of her.
Our children are gone. Our father is gone. It's just me and you now.
There's one more yet to come.
Since this wasn't in the show, there was some wiggle room. And while Jaime's hands may technically have been around her throat as they died, it doesn't quite fulfill the book's prophecy, which was much more specific. It appears the show wanted to subvert expectations by instead killing Cersei with falling rubble. Well, at least Maggie was right about Cersei's children. Number 2. The Azor Ahai prophecy.
I'm afraid I'm not a prince.
Your Grace, forgive me, but your translation is not quite accurate. That noun has no gender in High Valyrian, so the proper translation for that prophecy would be the prince or princess who was promised will bring the dawn.
The prophecy of Azor Ahai begot plenty of theories. Among them, that the late Rhaegar was the prince who was promised. The prophecy proclaims that a hero from the past would return and bring about an age of peace with his flaming sword, which he needed to plunge into his lover's heart to forge.
In the ancient books, it's written that a warrior will draw a burning sword from the fire. And that sword shall be Lightbringer.
Many thought it could be Daenerys or Jon, and each of them fulfills at least one aspect of the prophecy depending on interpretation. However, we were never given a character who actually fulfilled every specific aspect of the prophecy. So this one, if it's even relevant, is left up for debate.
The Lord let you come back for a reason. Stannis was not the prince who was promised, but someone has to be.
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
I'm going to go now.
Go where?
What's this? A Song of Ice and Fire. Archmaester Ebro's history of the wars following the death of King Robert. I helped him with the title.
Not quite at the end yet. Almost there though. Just be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. Alright, back to business. Number 1. Who will sit on the Iron Throne? The show will definitely end with Dany on the throne. Or maybe Jon. Or Cersei. Or even Sansa. But Bran? How would that even happen?
All hail Bran the Broken. First of his name, King of the Andals and the First Men. Lord of the 6 Kingdoms. And Protector of the Realm.
All hail Bran the Broken!
Alas, one of the most unlikely candidates ultimately became the leader of the 7 or 6 kingdoms, even if he won't technically sit on the Iron Throne. We're not saying no one saw this coming, but we're doubtful there were a lot of hardcore Bran fans out there. While it makes sense on paper, the series once again failed to lay the groundwork for this big reveal, making it feel totally out of nowhere.
We serve at your pleasure, King Bran the Broken, ruler of the 6 Kingdoms and Protector of the Realm. Long may he reign.
Long may he reign.
Long may he reign.
Long may he reign. Long may he reign.
That will improve.
I'm sure it will.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.